Hello everyone, I'm Jake Lang back for another review, and in today's review, we are going to take a look at Marvel / Disney What If. Here's the cover for it. For the collected issue, and there are chapters to this. I will be going over that for you guys. And if you want to go for this book, this here, I got it from Temu. You can also get it from other places, like Barnes & Noble, for example. Probably as well as Amazon on this one. I will be telling you about this, guys. So, be ready to listen. But I'm not giving out spoilers. I mean, here's the first page, but it just explains about for Marvel and Disney. The first chapter, though, is what if Donald became Wolverine? Yeah, I know, to you guys, they shouldn't do this to Disney characters, but that's the way it goes. In this one. Old Donald Duck. Basically, if you haven't heard of Old Man Logan, Old Man Logan is Wolverine, which technically, that's what it's supposed to be as. Old Duck Donald. Basically, though, in this comic, Skull Pete is basically taking on as Red Skull, and his sidekicks are the Beagle Boys. Now, if you haven't heard of the Beagle Boys, think of DuckTales, the original DuckTales, and the comics of DuckTales, as well as the reboot DuckTales. You'll know what I mean on that one if you think of that. As well as a movie called Mickey, Donald, and Goofy, The Three Musketeers. Right here's the Beagle Boys. Skull Pete. Now here, Mickey Mouse takes on Hawkeye, or Mickey Hawkeye. Here is Donald Duck or Old Man Donald or Old Duck Donald.
No.
Everybody.
That's it.
How much? Donald's grandmother? Or what he calls him, her granny. And this one, there's also Gyro, which technically it goes back to where Donald Duck remembers it to get rid of his anger, as well as Goofy Hulk. Here's Goofy Hulk right here. And in this one, he goes green. He's gray, though, in this one, as well, in the beginning. It's an interesting comic here, in my opinion. Here's a Goofy Hulk in green. And technically, with old Duck Donald, he doesn't like green. I'm not gonna read the comic. I'm just gonna explain it as a review. Technically, though, he goes berserk, though, because of seeing green. Because of Goofy Hulk. And takes everyone out. Then at the end, Scrooge McDuck is in it. And here's some sketches, too, right here. Whoa. Sorry guys, that one was not planned. This one's Pete Skull right here. Donald Duck right here as Wolverine. Here's some stillnesses for some Wolverine and other Wolverines of Donald Duck. And here's Old Man Donald and Goofy Hulk. Iron Pluto as well. Pluto Colossal. Now the next chapter is what if Donald became Thor, the mighty Thor. Which the title is Donald Thor versus the Stone Ducks of Saturn. So Stone Ducks of Saturn is basically from space though. So, technically, this is a standalone without any other characters. Unless if you go for Huey, Dewey, and Louie in it. But there's no other heroes but the mighty Donald Thor. So, technically you're just getting one character, just him. Basically though, if he puts down a stick, he becomes normal instead of the mighty Thor. And if he picks it up, he becomes the mighty Thor. And here's Donald as Thor here. Donald Thor. Journey into Mystery right here. Interior splash page sketch right here. As well as a stone duck. Now the next one is a third chapter. What if Minnie became Captain Marvel? There's no other characters as well in it. Unless if you count Scrooge McDuck. And these other characters here. You would magic a dispel. There's also Pete, that Scorpion, that symbols Scorpion from Spider-Man. It's just talking about how Minnie became Mini Captain Marvel, which the chapter is The Awesome Origin of Mini Captain Marvel. Because right here is Pete as Scorpion. If you've seen Scorpion in the original in Spider-Man, that's what that looks like. Technically, I wish I had a table in the living room so that way I can do this easier. Sorry for no table in the living room though, guys. Ugh. You would get more in depth from the living room instead of the kitchen. Sorry about that, guys. I need to get a table somehow, sometime. By calling Best Payments. I might do that next month, though. So that way I don't have to do reviews from the kitchen.
Yeah, without all that. Yeah, I can't do it like you can't do it every day.
As I said, this is just Mini Captain Marvel. As I said, it's just taking place in their own universe as Marvel characters. See, these are the still ones.
You taking your meds now or no?
Wait, you done, Matthew?
Not yet, but you can go ahead.
Okay, thank you.
I'm just gonna have this here pointed to the comic,
Okay.
so you don't have to worry. Beagle Boys and Robot is right here. Now this one's what if Mickey and friends became the Fantastic Four? And Pete as Mole Man. If you've read comics of the Fantastic Four though, you know what the haps is? The Fantastic Four versus Mole Pete. Now going into it, you'll see Mole Pete in this. There's also a bit of a flashback too on how they became the Fantastic Four. See? Which Gyro's fault? Which Gyro had a machine going for it. So technically this is similar to the Fantastic Four comics on this one. Mole Pete's right here.
Okay.
As I said, it's just a versus one. These are stillnesses of the Fantastic Four, the Disney characters as the Fantastic Four. And this one's Mickey and what if Mickey and Friends became Avengers? Daisy is a Sif though, but you don't see Sif here. But you do see Pluto Ant-Man, Minnie Wasp, Donald Thor, Goofy Hulk, and Iron Mickey. I think this one's Gladstone is Loki Gladstone Coming of Avengers, that's what the title is. And in this one's Goofy Hulk, Sif and Donald.
Email me back.
So we can get over it.
I don't know how to do this. And
See?
about the
Minnie and the Pluto as Ant-Man and Wasp.
Yes.
on that level for me. Please.
Mickey has Iron Man. And that's all the heroes in this one.
I need someone else to say this. About their email about the Vikings.
But in this one, it's also a match between Donald Thor and Loki and Gladstone Loki.
Yeah, I've seen it. You showed it.
No, the email.
If you're wondering why they go by their names, though, their Disney names, that's how Disney wanted this in this comic. Donald Duck as Thor, Mickey as Iron Man. Pluto has Ant-Man, Minnie has the Wasp, Goofy as Hulk, and Gladstone Gander as Loki. There's another chapter, the fourth one. What if Donald became Iron Man? Wait a minute. No, the fifth chapter. What if Donald became Iron Man? Iron Duck is born. This is the only one there is because Gyro and Donald is in it. Also Scrooge McDuck. As I said, I'm not gonna... If you want this comic, this graphic novel, would recommend getting it. But the Beagle Boys kidnaps Donald Duck, however. In this one, which Donald Duck, in this one, works on something to become, wait for it, Iron Duck. Only thing is, at the end, he doesn't know how to take off the suit. Here's Iron Duck, Stillness is here. Last one is what if Goofy became Spider-Man? Wait a minute, that was the 6th one, though, however. There's 7 of them, actually. Technically, this one's just where Goofy takes place as Spider-Man. So, technically, this is the only one there is. And Gyro is the teacher for Goofy's class. I don't know why they decided to have it as Goofy as a student in Gyro's class, so don't ask me. Basically, though, Goofy lives with his aunt. And after getting bitten by a spider, Goofy takes up as Spider Goofy. See? He also saves the day in this one too, however. If you don't know that mouse, remember Mortimer Mouse. Beagle Boy's right here, which Goofy fights against. And here's the stillness. Here's a variant covers for all the comics on the next pages. And that's the end of the comic, guys. This one's just a what if graphic novel, which you see here as the cover.
Yeah, check the,
Because it says, what if Goofy became Spider-Man? But it's the same comic for the graphic novel. See? They just wanted to have the same cover as what's in it. And if you want to know the back, that's the back of it. As I said, I'm not gonna go for any you know, any rating for the comic. I just wanted to do a little review for you guys of the comic. Now, if you want to pick this comic up, by the way, sorry for not having my cam towards my face. Kwame knows what I wanted to do, don't you, Kwame? As I said, if you guys want to pick this comic up, you can go for online resources like Barnes & Noble, Temu, or wherever else you can get your graphic novels from. Now, if you want to get these individually, You can get them as well individually in comic book stores. But I would recommend the graphic novel instead if you want to read all of them at once. Just saying. You'd be better off with a graphic novel instead. Now tomorrow's review will be Girl in Mine Fruit Punch. So until tomorrow's video, MJ Klein's out. Peace out. See you next video. Later everyone.